if your representative, I may not be your representative because I'm in this district, but if your representative isn't asking you what you want them to do, how do they represent you? It's their opinion, not yours. So my goal is to find out what the people want and go do it instead of guessing. That's guesstimation, not representation. So if you're in Cole County, I'd really appreciate your vote on August 2nd. That's the primary. And if not, you might want to encourage your representative to think about what I just said and get them to represent you instead of themselves or special interest groups. So anyway, it looks like the 4th of July here. And I'm really enjoying it, and I had some great food. I don't know who all the cooks were, but thank you so much because I was kind of hungry. And again, I'm George Bacon, and your vote counts, people. You got to vote in the primary. This year's primary is very important. There's no Democrats running in a lot of the offices, so the primary is where you will find your candidate in a lot of areas. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Wake up, people. Give him a hand. Some of you know me, some of you don't. I'm Black Wölf. I live stream. I was in the People's Convoy. I want to say one thing. The big thing that I have noticed out of my lifetime after having served my time in the military, because I was in the U.S. Army, our politicians, it does not matter if they say they're on the left side or the right side. Left side can have bills that seem and look good for the people, but it doesn't get passed. Because the right side don't work with them. Same thing happens on the right side. Guess what? All that bad stuff that passes, they're both pushing it. And it's one agenda. And that's what we're fighting today. That's why I came all the way out from the Northwest to be here, because you guys are right on the edge of your primaries. I have a video that I put out on YouTube. It's called #NoMoreThirdTerms. Our politicians have been sitting in these offices for 40, 50, and 60 years. When you look at our senators, they run on a 12-year term. Our Congress, I think it's a 4-year term, or a 6-year term. You can correct me on that. But we, the people, do not have a term limit in place. The Convention of States is working on that, yes. But in the meantime, we can use our vote as the term limit. If they have been in office for more than 2 or more terms, do not vote for them again. Bring in fresh blood. Do your homework on every single candidate running and pick the one that best fits what you want to see for the future of this country. That's it. Because our government has gone crazy with their overreach. You take a look at what they did to X-Ray out in DC, and you can take a look at what they've done to me. They've had the FBI out at my house 3 times, and that's the FBI Anti-Terrorism Task Force, and they've also got me locked up now to where I cannot go on a military base to deliver a load without being arrested if I show up. Because they've got me labeled in the system now just because I was with the People's Convoy as an extreme right-wing domestic terrorist and a white supremacist. There's a few more labels that they put in there, and I found that out because a friend of mine who also is a trucker, who has taken no part in any of this, was delivering a load to a base here recently, and he spent 2.5 hours getting interrogated about his relationship with me before they would even let him on base. And instead of letting him on base to deliver his load, they had a full MP squad, fully armed, escort him in, wouldn't let him out of his truck, unloaded his truck for him, and escorted him back off, which is not normal for us when we deliver a load to a base. All I did was wave my flags, blow my air horns, and demand to be heard. And I'm glad to see you all out here because you are demanding to be heard. We need everybody else in the country to stand up and demand to be heard. We are America. We will no longer be silent. This is our country, and we're taking it back. We are coming. One more thing. If you all do not have one of these, there are some of them floating around, please get one. Everybody should have a pocket constitution on you at all times. I keep one on the dash of my truck, I keep one in my car, I keep one next to the door of my house, and I keep one everywhere I am. This is a great reference, especially if you ever have somebody turn around and try to put something against you in any way, shape, or form that does not fall under the constitutional rights you're given.
Okay, we have another candidate here who, I want to say this right, Missouri Senate District number 6. So we're going to introduce him, and then after he speaks for a second, introduces himself, we want our very own Missourian, Trucker G, to say a few words for us. So give us a few minutes there, and we'll have Trucker G up next. There you go.
Thank you very much for allowing me to speak here before you and be able to eat with you. I really appreciate it. My name is Scott Rydell. I'm running for Missouri State Senate District 6 that covers Camden, Cole, Miller, Morgan, and Montauk. I'm from the people. I came from the people. I'm one of you. I just got fed up with the atrocious voting record of the incumbent. It's terrible. It does not represent our conservative views in the 6th district. It doesn't represent our conservative values, our freedoms, or our way of life. And so that's why I'm running. I served in the Army for 31 years. I did 2 combat tours in Iraq. I'm a constitutional conservative Republican, and I am also a Christian. So we've got to take him out, and the only way we do it is by your vote. I know how it was in 2020. I voted in 2020. I know how it was in 2016. We won in 2016. They robbed us in 2020. We have to vote now.
That's right.
This is the best route. We got to vote now, and we have to take it. So I need your vote, those that are in those counties, and if you're not, I need your prayers so that we can go and beat this guy, get him out, and that you can have representation for a change.
Yes.
And one last thing before I give this up, I'm going to do something different that most senators don't do. I'm going to do town hall meetings during the general session. So I'm going to go to every county every Friday if we're not filibustering or having to get a bill through. And I'm going to tell you what's happening at the Capitol. I'll take your questions, I'll answer your questions, and then in the end I'm going to do something that no one does. I'm going to ask you, how can I help you? And then my staff and I will work our every ready tail to take care of you, the people.
Thank you for that. That's exactly what we need. We need a quick and raw. Spread the word, because here's the thing. I keep hearing this over and over and over, and I asked somebody today who works with the voters. I said, I keep hearing everybody say, why vote? Because we get robbed. But we need that. We need to see how many people are truly being out there voting. I know a lot of y'all probably watch 2,000 Mules. So make sure, get out there, vote. That way we can prove, hey, we're using our voices. We're doing the peaceful assembling. We're doing our right as Americans to vote. Where's the results? Let's keep them accountable. We need to work with voter safety people who are out there. I don't know their technical term. We'll put that on the site, but we need to work with them so that we can make sure we get our votes accounted for and keep them safe, and then go from there. So Trucker G, come on down. Woo-hoo! Yeah, vote and the choice is yours. You don't vote, you don't get a toy. I like that. Thank you for sharing that. All right. Okay, Trucker G is up, and then we're gonna have X-Ray speak to us a little bit right after Trucker G. Everybody give a welcome. These guys are Patriots, Mary Beth. We love After Dark with the G's is my personal favorite. Don't tell anyone, but anyway. Happy to hear it. Easy now.
How you doing, guys? Good to see y'all out here. Didn't really come here prepared to talk or nothing like that. I just come here as a citizen of Missouri. And that's what we all should be doing. should all be getting together. You know, the problem with this country is we're so divided. We're so divided to the left, we're so divided to the right. We just come together because we all want freedom. Either side, I don't care what side you think you are and you're not. We're Americans is what we are, and that's what we need to be. Everything else is just, well, it's bold, to be honest with me, in my opinion. You guys have all seen me come up on stage and talk throughout the months. And I read a poem, and I promised everybody as long as I get up on stage or anytime I have a mic in my hand, I'm going to read that poem. I'd like to share it with you guys, if you don't mind. A visitor from our past. I had a dream the other night I didn't understand. A figure walking through the mist with a footlock in his hand. His clothes were torn and dirty as he stood there by my bed. He doffed his three-cornered hat and speaking low he said, "We fought the revolution to secure our liberty. We wrote the Constitution as a shield from tyranny. For future generations, this legacy we gave, and this the land of the free and the home of the brave. The freedom we secured for you, we hope you'd always keep. But tyrants labored endlessly while your parents were asleep. Your freedom gone, your courage lost, you're no more than a slave. And this is the land of the free and the home of the brave." Well, we're not done. It's kind of a long one. You buy permits to travel and permits to own a gun, permits to start a business or to build a place for one. On land you believe your own, you pay a yearly rent, although you have no voice in choosing how the money's spent. Your children must attend a school that doesn't educate. Your Christian values can't be taught according to the state. You read about current news in regulated press. You pay a tax you do not owe to please the IRS. Your money is no longer made of silver or of gold. You trade your wealth for paper, so your life can be controlled. You pay for crimes that make our nation turn from God into shame. You've taken Satan's number as you trade it in your name. You've given government control to those who do you harm, so they can padlock churches and steal the family farm. And keep your country deep in debt, put men of God in jail, harass your fellow countrymen while corrupted courts prevail. Your public servants don't uphold the solemn oath they've sworn. Your daughters visit doctors, so children won't be born. Your leadership artillery and guns to foreign shores, and send your sons to slaughter, fighting other people's wars. Can you regain the freedom for which we fought and died? Do you have the courage and the faith to stand with pride? Are there no more values for which you'll fight to save? Or do you wish your children to live in fear and be a slave? People of the Republic, arise and take a stand. Defend the Constitution, the supreme law of the land. Preserve our great republic and God-given right, and pray to God to keep the torch of freedom burning bright. As I awoke, he vanished, in the mist from which he came. His words were true. We are not free. We have ourselves to blame. For even now as tyrants trample each God-given right, we only watch and tremble, too afraid to stand and fight. If he stood by your bedside in a dream while you were asleep, and wonders what remains of our rights he fought to keep, what would be your answer if he called out from the grave? Is this still the land of the free and home of the brave? You know, that poem right there says every reason why I'm here today, every reason why I gave 3 months of my life and my family's life and sacrificed everything I've got. I've sold everything from my house to every possession I have. Well, my house still hasn't sold, I'm still waiting for it to sell. But I sold every possession I have to spend 3 months in D.C. to fight for the rights of people that just don't care.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm not here for a thank you. I mean, we look around and some people are talking and nobody wants to listen to what's going on. And that's what's happening in D.C. from coast to coast. People just don't care. You know how many people I went up to and had no idea the different laws and bills that are going on? Because they're so caught up in themselves. That's our problem. We're divided as a nation, and we're caught up in ourselves. We'd rather talk amongst each other, and then when somebody stands up to do something, We don't know what's going on because we didn't listen to them to begin with.
Right.
But then you want to bash people for going up there and standing up. Where were you?
That's right.
Why didn't you stand up? What is it going to take for you to stand up? What is it going to take for you to listen? What is it going to take for you to be the leader, follower? I don't care what it is. Stand beside each other and forget the division. The division's got what this country's got. Division is the reason why we're in this vote in this country. Because we're divided. We don't look to our left. We don't look to our right. We don't meet our neighbors. We don't even talk and smile at each other and say, hello, how are you?
That's right. That needs to stop.
We'd rather look down upon each other and knock each other for our indifferences. Look at me, I'm tattooed. I've got a big old beard. I'm married to a Mexican. You know, how much different can you get than that?
We love you.
I just get passionate. I start stuttering when I get passionate. I get upset. Because really, every problem that we have in this United States is easily solved. It's so dang easy. All we have to do is live by one rule. One rule. And everything would be solved. Treat others the way you would like to be treated. The golden rule. Everything else, laws, all that can go to the side. If we treat others the way we wanted to be treated, Democrat, Republican, Hindu, Buddhist, Catholic, Baptist, I don't care what you are. If we treated others the way we wanted to be treated, what problem would we have in this world? What problem do you see we would have? No, it's too easy to hate each other. Too easy for me not to like you or you not to like me. And that's what it boils down to, guys. Will we ever solve this problem? I hope so. Am I losing faith? I'm starting to. I really am starting to lose faith. I'm losing faith in humanity. Because we won't stand together for something that's so easy. Look at the crowd here. Yeah, it looks good. I'm glad to see everybody here. But this place should be standing room only. There should be no rooms on these benches. There shouldn't be no rooms out in these woods. It should be backed up all the way back to Washington, D.C. That's the problem with the convoy when we had. Everybody said, oh, look at thousands of people standing up on these overpasses. Oh, they're all out there. Oh, we love you truckers. Yeah, it was 60 miles long is what I heard. It should have been coast to coast. And if you couldn't afford to go to D.C., why weren't you out there in your front yard waving that flag every single day? Why weren't you standing out there anywhere on your own courthouse steps? There's so much we can do. But no, we look for a reason to hate each other. We look for a reason not to do it. I don't want to go out there because I don't like the glasses you're wearing. I don't want to go out there because he's wearing a vest over there. He's part of a biker gang. Yeah, and I said biker gang. And I know better. But that's the kind of stuff that's said. Life's so pretty simple, guys. I'm here for my grandchildren. I'm not here for myself. If it were me, I wouldn't care. I just move up in the mountains somewhere and you guys would never see me. But I gotta live here where my grandbabies are. I gotta leave a world for my grandbabies to live in. I don't know about you guys. I'm sure I speak for most of you. All right, I love you guys.
I love you guys so much. And like he said, they're not here for a pat on the back. They're here to inspire you, and that's why we love y'all, because you're real. And we got another gentleman here. Where's our visionary representative? We've got the G-Force, we've got the kinfolk in the house today on the live stream, and now we've got the visionaries. X-Ray, oh my God.
Such a good job. Let's hear it for Becca.
Hey, let's hear it for Becca. And let's hear it for the Missouri Patriots. That's right, Missouri 10-4. 10-4. Hey, special shout out to these big truck drivers bringing these big, beautiful semi-trucks in here to stand up for freedom, waving that American flag. All right, big shout out to the bikers who have come in here with these flags. You don't know how much you motivate me. Good job. Good job. We got freaking 18-wheelers. Oh no, Bobtail doesn't have that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10-wheelers. Sorry, Trucker G. Now he's up. He's angry. So freaking 10-wheel bobtails. We got 4-wheelers. I bet we got a dually tree up here. Right now we got the two-wheelers. Thank you, bikers. On August 13th in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, if you ride a motorcycle and you care about your country, you better show up. Double check my dates, all right? You can reach out to Jeff at East West, or you can reach out to the Panhandle Patriots Motorcycle Club, and they're having an event for freedom. Some of my buddies up there from East West Trucking are going to be there with semi-trucks. So all you patriots show up in Idaho, you know they hold the line too. I just want to thank you guys for having me here. If you watch the channel, you've seen some pretty rough stuff in DC, right? I've been on DC. I led the 30 vehicles in when we took the National Mall. All right, I did that reconnaissance to make sure that we could park trucks there. And now we've seen some pretty rough stuff. We've seen arrests without being served with any kind of warrant or any kind of ticket or summons, just being arrested. I watched DC Metropolitan Police getting David Riddell saying a semi-truck and steal it. When they stole it, they backed into Brian's semi-truck, right? They backed into that and drove away. So that's hit and run, fleeing the scene of an accident, right? There's a woman on the ground with a broken arm, Shelly, who gave me her dead son's truck, that Marine's truck. Marine who was wounded in action in 2006, Bobby Porter. You know, I was driving that truck with his casket flag for him. And after they stole his truck, they stole my truck right off the street. They kept it for more than a week. They damaged the mirror, they damaged the dashboard, they stole items from the truck. They found nothing. No weapons, no explosives, nothing. When they gave it back to us, they did it in a wooded lot, in an abandoned parking lot, and gave us no paperwork. We live streamed the whole thing. We had firefighters there with the power of attorney. So what's happening in DC is corrupt. All right, we need to stand up against the corruption that we know is occurring. The longer you stand by and watch your freedom erode like a riverbank into the river, right, the worse it's going to be for your children and your grandchildren and for yourselves. I just want to respect and shout out each of you Missouri Patriots for being here, being on the ground and standing up. I see other veterans here as well. Thank you to my brother and sister veterans who are here for standing up. If you're at home watching and you're a veteran, you need to get on the ground now. Get out here now. Get out. All right, we want to be peaceful and we want to be nonviolent. Peaceful and nonviolent. All right, I'm looking at this like, you know, the million-person march, Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., right? Just peaceful, nonviolent, and people are voting now who, right, didn't have rights before, they have them now. All right, so we need to stand up for freedom peacefully, okay? We need to come together no matter what group we're with, the People's Movement, the People's Convoy, whatever, Freedom Convoy, Liberty, you know, 1776, whatever it is. Just put that trash behind you and come together with your brother and sister patriots for freedom, all right? And do it now. Do it now. Stand with these patriots. I respect you. Thank you very much for letting me join you today. Becca, awesome job as always. You know, I look around, I've seen 100 faces at least here today, standing tall. We're going to convoy. Right, we're going to go on a convoy, drivers. 10-4. Have a lot of fun. I appreciate you being here. Always stand up for freedom. Never be afraid to stand up for freedom. I want you to try to go to Washington, D.C. if you can. We're going to hold the National Mall. We're going to have a freedom presence there, waving American flags, singing karaoke, right? Cooking burgers for people. That's all nonviolent. It's going on right now. We've been occupying the National Mall for 2 weeks. Restoration movement, hashtag 1776RM. 1776 Restoration Movement is on the National Mall. It's occupied. We've held that ground for more than 2 weeks, all right, and they've tried all the illegal and immoral and inappropriate tactics they could come up with, all right, and they're not displacing the patriots, all right, because we will always stand for freedom. America is the beacon of light, right, the lighthouse of freedom for the world. And if you give up and if you don't stand up and if you don't hold the line with us, we're going to lose it. We're going to lose it. So thank you. I'll shut up. I'm sorry, Becca. But thank you all very much for letting me be here. I respect and support all of you. All right? Thanks a lot. Yeah, I got one more thing. Yeah. I want to do one more thing with you, right? Before every convoy into D.C., I've led 20 of them in there. We parked around the White House. We circled the White House with semi-trucks. We went down all the embassies on Massachusetts Avenue. We circled DuPont Circle. A lot of these drivers right here were with me. A lot of these big truck drivers were with me, all right? We can continue to dictate the tempo of the action. And that's what we need to do. You all need to come up with plans. Well, here's a peaceful, nonviolent, fun. Wake up other people and make them love freedom. And make them stand up, or anybody can do it. Every one of you is a leader. All right? I believe in every one of you. What are we doing this for? We're doing it for our freedom, for our children, right? So on 3, I want to hear freedom. 1, 2, 3, and then I want to hear freedom. I want to hear it as loud as you can. All right? And I want to know if this means something to you. On 3, ready? 1, 2, 3. Freedom! That's right. Thank you, Missouri. Great job, Missouri. Yeah, he's right back here, right? Yeah, he's in the green hat. Come on, please, Tony. I want to introduce you guys to a gentleman, to a farmer and a business owner. This gentleman farms thousands and thousands of acres of corn and beans. He's made everything for himself in his life. He hasn't been handed anything. He has more than 30 families dependent upon him, and he owns a truck driving company. This is Tony Quillen from TQ Trucking. All right, if you've been watching the X-Ray Vision channel on YouTube, you know we've stopped convoys at his property. They've hosted me. They've supported all of the patriots. They've cooked for us. And then they came and rescued me. All right, and he fed me, and he sheltered me, and he clothed me, and he protected me. At his own personal expense, right? He put himself and his family and his business at risk for helping me. Sir, I honor you. Thank you. And hey, while we're here, since he is a big league farmer, and since he is a big league truck driving company owner, I was just wondering if you'd be interested in hearing what's frustrated farmers, small business owners, and truckers, and what's bringing them out in hundreds and thousands to stand for freedom. Are we okay with that? Cool, I know you didn't want this, I'm sorry, but America needs to hear from you. You're one of the Americans, one of the honorable Americans who Americans need to hear from so they know it's okay to come out. Right, you're another one of those Americans. This is Tony Quillen.
I really don't even know where to start with this because I'm not a really good speaker at all. I farm about 4,000 acres in Indiana. I'll start out with that.
Hold it close to the mouth.
Our input cost this year is triple. So I'll just give you a little hint. Last year, our input cost was probably around $300,000 to put our crops out. Now this year, it's going to be over $1 million just to put out our crops. So between high fuel cost and fertilizer, 28% nitrogen, we paid $175 a ton for it last year, and now this year we're over $400 a ton to do the same job. So, you know, what they're trying to do is weaken the American farmer to where there's no small farmer. They're trying to make it where there's big corporations. Once they get to the big corporations, then they got control. So the little guy is getting weaned out, kind of like the trucking. Trucking is kind of in the same way. So as an American farmer, I just want all the farmers to come out and start getting more involved in telling their side of the story. We work hard at Walt. Depend on Mother. All we can do is put it in the ground and then hope that we get the right weather. Just like last week in Indiana where I farm, I got a call, I think yesterday, the day before. I don't even know what day it is anymore, but anyway, we got some straight line winds. I don't know how many acres of corn it flattened. If it broke that corn off, then the corn's no good at all. It's done. So I'm hoping that it didn't do that to a lot of acres, but don't know that till I get back to the Indiana. But we definitely need to keep our small farmers and keep them in business and not let these guys push us to large corporations. And they're trying, but we'll just have to keep digging in, you know. Kind of like I believe it's is it the Dutch farmers that's having a bad time right now? Am I correct? I haven't watched a lot. I'm getting into something I really don't know a lot about. I've just seen pictures. But I would hate to think that I don't think we're that far from being in that same position if we don't get a hold of this whole deal here. The people need to come together and keep the small farms going. So, like I said, I'm not a very good speaker. It's one of my first times I did this. And as far as the trucking, I run around 18 semis. I had 24 at one time. We spend about $1.5 million in diesel fuel per year in my little company. We're just a small company. We take care of about 30 families. Right now, just tell you a little about what's going on in the trucking. Right now, we have a hard time getting parts. They told us that the oil is a problem. We've already got our oil for the rest of the year just so to make sure we got it. And it's a tough business too. So we got to keep our trucking companies, keep supporting the small trucking company, and it takes all you people to keep us going. And that's just a little about what I do. I have, I've just been taking care of my friend X-Ray for the last 7 days. He's been a gentleman.
Somebody needs to.
Yeah, somebody needs to, you're right. And I met these wonderful people on the first convoy. I made like a whole new family, people I didn't even know. Me and Lisa, we drove out there in the convoy and met so many beautiful people, like the G's, X-Ray. I could just go on and on with a lot of people. And thank God we got the leaders we got to keep this going, but we need to get more. More people need to come down. Tell your friends, tell anybody, they can do this. All you have to do is step forward, get in your car, come to these little rallies and understand, and you get a whole new family. That's all you got to do. So I'm just a small guy trying to make a living, and started out with nothing. And I built a $3 million trucking company and about a $2 million farming business. And I had nothing when I started. People told me I couldn't do it, and that kind of upsetted me when I was a 15-year-old. They told me I could not do this. And yep, you have your goods, you have your bads, but you get through it. Just keep it up, keep trying. So I'm going to give this back to somebody else right now. So whoever, yeah, here we go, right here. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you for inviting me.
It's such an honor to have you. All right, so we've heard a little bit. Hope it's got you a little bit riled up. So now let's go make some noise. Let's wake some patriots up. Everyone go out real quick. We are going to have Jesse, who just got back from DC. He wanted to talk to us a little bit today too. But we're going to do some karaoke here in a little bit. Everyone just be mindful, stay as close as you can to the person in front of you. Safety first always. Jen, are you down here? Oh, there you are, right in front of my face. Can you help us with freedom blocking? Yeah. Are you up for the role? So watch for her black Jeep. She will be our freedom blocker. We're going to have all the bikers first. Mr. Bonnet, where are you at? Oh, there, right here. He's going to lead us. So if you want to go and get ready, we'll get behind you. So I am all about us, a good convoy. Let's go make some noise. This is a way in 2021 that we protest. So fly those flags, honk those horns. We're going to have the semis get directly behind the bikes. Everybody else just follow in suit behind. This is not a rush. This is a slow roll. Take your time. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Honk those horns.
Yes. Okay, Mr. Bonnie, he's walking right there. He's in a Jeep as well.
You're going to need more than one block.
You want me to do it? Okay.
Black Wölf is going to be our other gatekeeper, freedom blocker. What color is your vehicle?
It's got a blue hood.
The truck has a blue hood, green cab, and a black box. It's a big truck. You'll see it. If I'm blocking an intersection, just keep on going through.
You need that person in the back too?
You should probably find one.
Okay, and then Do I have a volunteer who wants to head up the back? Whoever you are, I would like you to have either Zello or a CB. Who wants to be at the
All right, folks, we're going to go get set up and get ready and get this phone underneath some air conditioning. And we're going to convoy. I'm going to restart this stream after we get rolling, all right? I'm going to be a freedom blocker today, too. Have fun.